Everybody wants success. Everybody wants the rewards, the lifestyle, the recognition. But let me tell you something. Success is not a trophy you put on your shelf. It's not a prize you win once and then you're done. Success is not owned, it is rented. And the rent is due every single day. You can't cheat the grind. You can't fake the hustle. Success don't care how talented you are if you're lazy. Success don't care about your background if you're not willing to show up daily. This ain't a one-time payment. This is a subscription. You want to stay on top? You better pay your dues daily. You don't become great one time. You don't build something powerful and then sit back. That's not how it works. You don't work hard one season and then coast the rest of your life. No, the grind is forever. The moment you stop feeding it, it dies. Let me be real with you. There are people out here hungrier than you, people who don't sleep because they know what they're chasing. People who have been overlooked, underestimated, rejected, and they out here putting in the work like their life depends on it, because it does. And while you're chilling, waiting for motivation to come tap you on the shoulder, they're working. While you're busy watching others succeed, they're making it happen. Why? Because they understand success is never owned, it's rented. And guess what? The rent is due every single day. You can't skip a day. You can't be fired up on Monday and fall off on Thursday. You can't just post a highlight reel and expect the world to hand you something. That's not how the game works. You got to earn it over and over again. You say you want to be great? Then show me how consistent you are. Don't show me your talent, show me your routine. Don't show me your vision board, show me your grind. What are you doing when nobody's watching? What are you doing when the applause stops? When the likes stop? When the excitement wears off? When the struggle shows up? When the pain kicks in? Do you still pay the rent or do you move out? See, success is not a destination, it's a lifestyle. It's not just about reaching the top, it's about staying there. Anybody can have a good day. Anybody can be great when it's easy. But the ones who rise and stay there, they show up when it's hard. They show up when it's inconvenient. They show up when they don't feel like it. Let me ask you something. Are you a sprinter or are you a marathoner? Because life ain't a 100-meter dash. It's mile after mile, challenge after challenge. There will be setbacks. There will be doubts. You'll be tired. You'll be tested. But you keep moving forward anyway. Why? Because that's the price. That's the rent. That's the cost of greatness. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to make you realize that your dream is real, but it demands real work. Your goals are possible, but they come with a cost. There is no cheat code. There is no shortcut. Every morning you wake up, you better be ready to clock in. And don't think for a second that just because you reached a milestone, you're done. Nah, that's just your proof that you can do it again. If you built it once, you can build it better. If you achieved it before, you can level it up, but only if you stay locked in. Only if you keep pushing. Only if you keep paying the rent. Let me tell you what success really is. It's waking up earlier than your excuses. It's doing the reps nobody sees. It's staying focused when the world is full of distractions. It's failing and failing again and still refusing to quit. It's turning I can't into I will. It's replacing comfort with hunger. It's bleeding for your purpose. You're not entitled to success. You don't deserve it just because you want it. You get it because you've earned it. You earn it through discipline, through sweat, through sacrifice, through relentless, consistent, focused action. You don't own success, it owns you. And if you're not willing to pay the rent, it will evict you real fast. The grind don't care about how much potential you got. The grind don't care how bad you want it if you're not working for it. Success ain't loyal to the lazy. It don't stick around for the inconsistent. It don't wait for you to get in the mood. So today, make a decision. Stop looking at success like it's some final destination. See it for what it is: a daily grind, a lifestyle, a commitment, a fire that has to be fueled daily. Don't tell me you want it. Show me how bad. Show me by how early you rise. Show me by how disciplined you are. Show me by what you're willing to sacrifice. Your dream is calling, but you can't answer it on silent mode. You got to be loud. You got to be focused. You got to be obsessed. Success don't come for the curious, it comes for the committed. So whatever it is, your dream, your business, your body, your relationship, your purpose, you better treat it like rent's due today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. And then tomorrow, pay it again. And the day after that, pay it again. Success is a daily payment, not a one-time achievement. Too many people walk around with the mindset that once they accomplish something, they've made it. They hit one goal, they pass one test, they get one promotion, and they think the work is done. But real success doesn't operate like that. Real success doesn't congratulate you with permanent status. It doesn't lock you in because of yesterday's grind. You don't get to pay once and then coast. You pay daily with your time, your effort, your discipline, and your focus. If you stop paying, you stop growing. If you stop growing, you start falling. You don't hold on to success by sitting back and admiring what you already did. You hold on to it by getting up every day and proving you still want it. This is where people fall off. They think talent is enough. They think past effort gives them a lifelong pass, but it doesn't. Success is a moving target. The moment you hit one level, life asks if you can handle the next. Can you carry the weight? Can you keep your hunger alive when you've already tasted victory? That's the test. The rent doesn't get cheaper just because you paid it once. It keeps coming every single morning, every single decision. You either pay the price or you lose your place. There is no in between. The rent never stops. And that's what separates the great from the average. The great understand that you can never afford to get comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of success. Once you start believing you've done enough, you start slipping. You start cutting corners. You start skipping days. And that's all it takes. Success isn't stolen a day, it's lost little by little. One missed workout, one late morning, one ignored detail. The discipline starts fading and the results follow. That's why it's daily. That's why it's constant. You need to show up regardless of how you feel. You need to push even when the excitement fades. You need to grind when no one's clapping for you, because that's what keeps the rent paid. And don't confuse effort with results. Some people work hard once and expect success to stay loyal. It won't. You might impress the world for a moment, but if you stop, the world will forget. That's how real it is. It's not about what you did last month. It's not about the hustle you had last year. It's about what you're doing right now. How locked in you are today. How focused you'll be tomorrow. Every moment counts. Every hour either moves you forward or sets you back. You can't afford to take days off from greatness. You can rest, but you can't quit. You can pause, but you can't retreat. Because the price of your dream is due daily. And the payment doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're going through something. Success doesn't come with sympathy. It comes to those who are consistent. It rewards those who rise anyway, who grind anyway, who deliver regardless of how rough life gets. Those are the ones who understand the truth, that success is a commitment you renew daily. It's not a moment. It's a lifestyle. It's not a finish line. It's a mindset. It's not a peak. It's a path. And the ones who walk it every day without excuse, without complaint, are the ones who keep climbing. Discipline outlasts motivation every time. Motivation is that fire you feel when you first start, when the dream is fresh, when the vision is exciting and the energy is high. It's easy to show up when everything is new and the spark is alive. But that spark fades, the hype wears off, life gets in the way, you get tired, you hit walls. And in those moments, motivation disappears. That's where most people quit. Not because they didn't want it, not because they weren't talented, but because they were relying on a feeling to carry them through a process that requires something deeper. Discipline steps in when motivation walks out. Discipline says, get up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline says, show up when your emotions say, stay in bed. Discipline keeps the train moving when motivation has already left the station. Anybody can be great for a moment. Anybody can do something amazing once, but discipline determines whether you can do it again tomorrow, whether you can stay consistent, whether you can keep your focus when life starts throwing punches. Discipline is the muscle that builds champions. It's the inner voice that drowns out distractions. It's the anchor that holds you steady in storms. You don't reach elite levels off energy bursts. You get there by sticking to the plan when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one's watching, when it hurts. Motivation is loud, flashy, emotional. Discipline is quiet, steady, ruthless. Motivation will hype you up to write the goal on the wall. Discipline will make you do the work to achieve it. Discipline gets up at 5 a.m. when the bed feels warm. Discipline makes the tough choices when everyone else is chasing comfort. Discipline doesn't need applause. It doesn't need perfect conditions. It doesn't wait for everything to feel right. It moves regardless. It acts regardless. It sacrifices regardless. Too many people are chasing energy instead of building habits. They want to feel ready before they move. They want to feel inspired before they act. But the winners don't wait for feelings. They let habits drive them. They know if they show up long enough, the feelings will catch up. Discipline creates momentum. It turns effort into lifestyle. It turns vision into results. It turns wishes into reality. It's not sexy. It's not always fun, but it works every single time. You don't get to choose how you feel every day, but you do get to choose what you do. And that's where power lies. In the choices you make after motivation has left, in the moments when the emotion fades and only structure remains. Discipline separates those who start from those who finish. It separates those who talk from those who build. It separates those who want it from those who live it. When you build a disciplined life, you don't have to rely on hype. You don't have to keep searching for inspiration. You already have the system. You already have the mindset. You've trained yourself to move forward no matter what. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you unstoppable. Because feelings change, emotions fade, but discipline stays. Discipline endures. Discipline wins long after motivation is gone. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. Everybody's got goals. Everybody talks about what they want to become, what they want to achieve, where they want to go. But a goal without the habits to support it is just a wish. It's easy to dream big. It's easy to write it on a vision board or post it online. But when pressure comes, when distractions hit, when you're tired or stressed or discouraged, you don't perform at the level of your dreams. You perform at the level of your discipline. And that discipline is built in the form of habits. Habits are your foundation. They are the invisible systems that shape your life every single day. Most people think they need to rise to the occasion, that when the time comes, they'll magically level up. But you don't rise to the moment, you revert to your training. You don't rise to your vision, you fall to the patterns you've repeated for months and years. If your habits are weak, inconsistent, scattered, then that's exactly how your life will look. If your habits are strong, consistent, intentional, then success becomes inevitable. Greatness doesn't show up out of nowhere. It's built brick by brick in your daily choices. It's built in the way you talk to yourself, in how early you get up, in how you eat, how you train, how you focus. Every little decision matters because it's either reinforcing a system that supports your goals or one that destroys them. There is no neutral. Every habit is either pulling you closer to your future or pulling you away from it. You don't become elite by trying harder once in a while. You become elite by doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. That's what your habits are for. To carry you through when your emotions want to quit. You can't depend on inspiration to carry you to your goals. That runs out. But habit, they're automatic once you've built them. Once they're in place, you don't need to think about pushing. You just push. You don't need to debate with yourself every morning. You already made the decision. People love the outcome but hate the process. They want the results without the repetition. But it's the repetition that forges results. It's the daily showing up, the unglamorous grind, the unshakable routines that no one sees. That's where transformation happens. You won't become successful by doing what you feel like doing. You'll become successful by mastering what must be done. And that starts with your habits. Look at your life right now. Don't look at your goals. Look at your habits. Because that's the truth of where you're headed. That's your real trajectory. If you want to change your future, don't just dream bigger, live better. Replace lazy habits with disciplined ones. Replace distractions with routines. Replace excuses with systems. Stop hoping and start building. The body, the business, the mindset, the life. It's all shaped by what you repeat. When adversity shows up, your habits decide how you respond. When doubt creeps in, your habits hold you together. When you feel weak, your habits remind you who you are. That's why you can't afford sloppy routines. That's why you can't let bad habits slide. Because they don't just affect today, they shape tomorrow. And if your habits don't match your goals, it's only a matter of time before your goals get crushed under the weight of your inconsistency. The rent for greatness is paid in consistency. Not in random bursts of effort, not in emotional highs, not in moments when everything feels perfect, but in steady, unshakable, day after day discipline. Consistency is the currency of champions. Anyone can grind for a day, maybe even a week, but it's what you do every single day, especially when no one's watching, that defines your level. You don't pay for success with intensity alone. You pay with repetition. You pay with the ability to stay committed when the motivation disappears. You pay with your ability to show up with purpose even when the excitement is faded and the struggle is real. Greatness doesn't come from doing a lot sometimes. It comes from doing the right thing over again. That's what separates the committed from the curious, the consistent from the inconsistent, the ones who make it from the ones who don't. It's not the loudest person who wins, it's the one who shows up every single time and puts in the work, even when the results aren't immediate, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's repetitive. Success is built on habits that compound, not miracles that appear out of thin air. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's doing what needs to be done, even when it's boring, even when it's tiring. It's waking up and choosing your purpose again and again. People want greatness, but they avoid routine. They want the outcome, but resist the process. But the ones who embrace the grind every single day, the ones who show up when it's hard, who stay disciplined when life gets chaotic, those are the ones who rise. Because consistency is what makes your work undeniable. It turns your actions into momentum and your momentum into transformation. You don't get to take days off from greatness. That doesn't mean you never rest. It means even your rest is intentional. Even your breaks are part of the plan. Because when you're truly committed, consistency becomes who you are. It's not what you do when it's convenient. It's what you do regardless of circumstance. And the truth is, if you're not consistent, you're not serious. If you can only perform when conditions are perfect, you're not ready for the top. Because the top demands work on the days you feel broken. It demands focus when the world is loud. It demands excellence whether you're celebrated or ignored. Your dream deserves more than occasional effort. It deserves daily commitment. Every action counts. Every day matters. Even the small things, especially the small things. Because consistency multiplies. It builds character. It builds discipline. It builds trust in yourself. Every time you show up, you strengthen your belief. Every time you complete the task, you become harder to break. And that's what greatness really is, showing up enough times that failure runs out of opportunities to stop you. The ones who win are not always the most talented, but they are always the most consistent. They're not chasing hype, they're chasing progress. They're not obsessed with speed, they're obsessed with direction. They don't need the world to recognize them today, they just need to be better than yesterday. That's the mindset, that's the price, that's the rent. And that rent never stops. It comes due every single day. And the only way to keep paying is through relentless consistency that refuses to quit, refuses to slack, refuses to lower the standard no matter what gets in the way. If you stop grinding, you start sliding. There's no such thing as staying still when it comes to growth. You're either moving forward or falling back. The moment you stop putting in the work, the moment you get comfortable, the moment you relax like you've arrived, that's when the decline begins. It doesn't happen all at once. It's slow, it's subtle, it's invisible at first. But every skipped rep, every missed opportunity, every excuse you make, it all starts adding up. You don't even notice it at first because it feels like you're just taking a break, but that break turns into a habit, and that habit becomes the new standard. Grinding isn't about always being loud. It's not always about being seen. It's about staying hungry, staying locked in, staying focused when there's no spotlight. When you grind, you keep your edge sharp. You stay dangerous. You keep pressure on your potential. But when you stop grinding, your skills dull, your mindset weakens, your confidence drops. You might still talk like a champion, but the actions don't match. You can't talk about domination if you're not even showing up to the battlefield. And the battlefield is every day you don't show up is a day someone else gets ahead. Someone hungrier, someone who wants it more, someone who didn't take today off. You don't lose your place in one moment. You lose it gradually, one lazy decision at a time. Success is like climbing a mountain. You don't reach the top and sit there forever. If you stop climbing, gravity pulls you back. That's how life works. The grind is what keeps you climbing. The grind is what keeps you sharp. And the grind never stops because life never stops throwing obstacles. The moment you pause, the moment you breathe too easy, life will test you again. That's why the grind has to be part of who you are. It can't be something you turn on and off. It can't be temporary. It can't be optional. It's got to be in your blood. You stop grinding and everything you built starts to weaken. Your habits start slipping. Your momentum slows down. Your passion fades. And then the fear, the doubt, the distractions, they start creeping back in. Grinding isn't about perfection. You don't always have to be the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest, but you better be the most relentless. You better be the one who refuses to stop, because when you stop grinding, you give your power away. You give life a chance to knock you off balance. You give your past a chance to catch up with you. But when you keep grinding, you stay in control. You stay intentional. You stay ready. And the world respects the person who stays ready. There's always going to be something trying to slow you down. Distractions, setbacks, emotions, failure. But the grind is your answer to all of it. The grind is your armor. The grind is your statement to the world that nothing can stop you if you refuse to stop yourself. You can't slide if you never stop climbing. You can't lose if you never quit. The grind is what keeps you rising when everything else says fall back. The real ones don't wait until it's easy. They don't wait until they feel like it. They get up and move anyway, because they know the second you stop grinding, you start sliding, and sliding is just a slow form of quitting. You don't go from the top to the bottom in one day. You drift, you settle, you forget how hard you work to get here. That's why the grind is sacred. That's why it's not negotiable. That's why it's your lifeline if you really want to hold on to everything you say you're chasing.